The structure of this bag is relatively simple. Before making this bag, first of all, let's identify its positive and negative sides. The grain of the leather side is thicker, it's got a nice texture to it. Microfiber on the back. The texture on the front looks like this. The back of the brown leather is white. First install the lock on a small leather piece. Flatten it as hard as you can. Measure a line 3 times the width of the bottom. Thread the needles through adjacent holes. Measure the line 4 times the width of the leather. Sew the first hole on the left. To the last hole on the right. A single layer of leather can be sewn together. This is what it looks like when it's sewn. Then connect the bottom of the package. The bottom of the bag is on the top. The front piece of the body of the bag is on the lower level. Sew these two parts separately. Attach another piece to the body of the bag. Sew up. The stitching in this section is the same as in this one. Through the first hole. Pull the wires to equal lengths. The length of the thread is the same for both needles. This thread is sewn down. Suture downwards. Also through 2 layers of leather. Sew down the line at the first hole. First stitch is sewn, front and back are the same. Keep sewing down. The true threads are staggered. The true lines are staggered. It's almost time to wrap things up. Use any piece of thread to sew the remaining. Sew to the last hole and sew forward. Then repeat the stitch. You can see that there are two lines in this position. Repeat the stitch. Use the previous line segment. Sew all the remaining holes. This thread is also repeated for 1 or 2 stitches. The two segments of the line coincide at different locations and in different directions. Don't cut the line at the last hole. Repeat 1 or 2 stitches and then cut the thread. Take out these two leathers. Sew it up here separately. To align the holes for sewing. Measure the wax line 3 times the length of the leather. Hole alignment. Hole alignment. I forgot to make a point. The lock is oriented in the same direction as the front of this piece of leather. It's all positive, it's all up. Then sew it down. The first and last stitches should both overlap by 1 stitch for reinforcement. Just repeat the stitch. Two needles interlock downward. The needle at the bottom goes through. Next, using the thread from the front, finish sewing the remaining holes. Then sew it back. Thread it to the last hole. Repeat 1 stitch for reinforcement. It's the same as at the beginning here. The line at the bottom. Also overlap 1 stitch of reinforcement. This band is mainly these 2 stitches and needs a repeat stitch to reinforce it. We'll do the same here. Once both straps are sewn together, check the. Let's see if we're going in the right direction. If it's wrong, remove the stitches in time to correct it. Next, sew the cover of the bag. There is a large hole on both the left and right sides of the bag cover. The video may not be very clear. Looking at your own leather will be obvious. Suture from the first hole. Sew into this side of the big hole. Stitching the cover of the bag. Measure the line 3 times the height of the bag. This is a paragraph. Measure 3 times. That'll do it. After this bag cover is sewn, then sew up the side. 2 notches on the bottom of the side. That's how it's sewn together. The notched portion does not count as a stitch. Connect the 2 sides with a thread. Align this side piece on the side of the bag, first hole aligned with first hole. It's sewn over just enough to line up with the big hole. Measure the line 5 times the length of this section. Pull the line to the center and the 2 segments are of equal lengths. Wrap the wire around. Tighten the thread and keep stitching. Suture to this position. The splices need to be reinforced with a single stitch. Note the location of the notch and sew directly, then align the bottom of the bag. Tensioning line. This stitch is repeated for reinforcement. Then the stitching continues. The stitching here is also reinforced with an overlapping stitch. Sewing to this position also requires a reinforcement stitch. Then we'll deal with the threads. If you sew up the other side as well, it will be a little more difficult to deal with the threads. Again, glue the threads. All the threads are taken care of. Sew the other side piece together in the same way. Both side pieces are sewn. Organize leather. Make sure the first holes in both side pieces are aligned with the large holes. Symmetry on both sides. Then sew up the handle. The upper and lower segments are sewn separately. Install the hardware while you're sewing. Hardware directions as per the video. Measure this section of line 5 times its length. There are 3 holes in the front that are needed to sew the 2 layers of leather together. It's these 3 holes that have to be sewn together and add hardware. Hole-to-hole alignment. Then sew this section in the same way. Take out this piece of leather. Through the double D buckle. Three holes on the bottom. It's an overlapping suture with this position. Attention needs to be paid. Then sew it to the top of the cover. Measure the line 4 times the length of the carrying handle. Start stitching from the point of overlap. The other side is sutured in the same way. And then the bag is basically complete. Finally, take care of all the threads on the bag.